there's enough room. Not very Yeah, you can tag along with them today.
Yeah, I've got to get it right. I'm with Stephen, we'll go the Australian route.
O flower of Scotland, when will we see your light again? That fought and died for your reeded hill and glen that stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward to think again. The hills are bare now, and autumn leaves lie thick and still. For land that is lost now, which oh so dearly held, that stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward to think again. Those days are past now, and in the past they must remain. The wicked still rise now, be the nation again that stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward to think again.
For those of us with about 2% Scottish heritage, doesn't get the spine back to England. Now, I am going to go to the microphone in a minute, but there's lots of things here that the family have set up that are Jack. There it is. My name's Jack, and I used to give orders, someone said to me, in the Lions Club. Many, many years. We're going to hear about that later on. A little bit of old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. We're going to hear a little bit about that later on too. You've got your order or your postcard. How good is that quaff? Hey, there's half a bottle of Brill cream, and half the youngsters here would not know what Brill cream is, but didn't we love it? It's magnificent. Clydebank, Jack's place of birth. It's been on his walls for so many years. A quiet pride, which is reflective of the man. Two beautiful people here, Judy and Jack, all dressed up, and it's just beautiful. Recognition of 25 years of service with the Lions, and it became 30. We drop a drum buoy and shivers for Ron. You know what I mean. Scotch thistle. They're pains, I can tell you, out in the Western District, but they're good here. A recognition, a wonderful recognition of Jack's community service. That's the way he was. That is the way he was. And I know there's some Lions Club members here today. So good morning to you all. I know there's been some travelling. What did I do wrong there? Nothing? Can you hear me now? How's that? Kel? The voice is going. That's better. That's better. Welcome to you all. Someone whispered in my ear that the people that come up from Warwick brought the rain. And I said it to someone and he said, I'm from northern New South Wales. So they didn't bring the rain, but they want to take it back with them. Live stream, those out there, please, you're with us just as much as if you were sitting in our chairs beside us. I thank you all for being here this morning. As we gather today to mourn the passing of Jack Donnelly. We gather to say our final farewells. And we gather to pay tribute to Jack's life of 86 years. A life that began in Clydebank in Scotland, and it's here in Lakes, at the golf club, where he was a member for almost 30 years, that we say farewell. We gather to pay tribute to Jack's life of 86 years. And today is a very bittersweet day. There's the sadness of having lost a good and decent man. There's a sadness at Jack's passing. But it is an expression of love to say that Jack's passing is a blessing. He's now at peace. I mean, for Judy and Newton and Deb and Linda and Stephen and Cameron and your grandpa, you guys, have a look at your Taylor and Abby and Clancy and Chelsea and Stacey and Nathan and Ella and Harrison and Liam. Did I get them all, Newton? And one on the way in how many weeks' time? 9 weeks' time. There's another little Donnelly person, well, whatever his surname is now. There's another.
Birthday. Is due on Dad's birthday?
Due on Jack's birthday, the little bloke. That's
Jack's birthday. Due on Jack's birthday.
Yeah. It's just amazing, the balance of life. Jack was, in principle, very private. He was proud, proud of his family. He was a reserved sort of bloke, but someone told me this morning that when he had to give orders regarding the fish tasting, you do that. So he had it in him. And he could be very sarcastic, and I wish I had an example. He was as smooth as silk with his sarcasm, and a lot of people probably would not have known that they were being taken the mickey out of. Judy said that dementia symptoms started about 6 years ago. But when they visited, he still recognised your faces and his face would light up. It's hard work. And outside of Jack's family, what did he enjoy doing? What did he love? Well, golf. More golf? No, just joking. Bowls, travelling, the Lions Club. So that's helping people. He'd watch golf on telly, and you know, Newton filled me in. Dad played golf for years and years, as I said, a member here for 30 odd years, but he never really improved. He never really improved. Oh, it's the wind today. Oh, I've got me wrong hat on. Anything like that. But I'm going back again. He took lessons and still didn't improve. It never quite clicked with Jack. And yet he played, I think I'm going to say later on, he played 3 days a week. Or more if possible. Didn't quite click. Jack's other love, as I said, single malt whiskey and Drambuie. It was his go-to present. So if you ever had to buy Jack a Christmas or a birthday or any sort of present, yep, Drambuie or single malt. Newton was about 2 or 3 years old, he told me, and needed a dentist. But Uncle Jimmy, and I know there's some relies here today, Uncle Jimmy provided a wee drop or two of Drambuie on the tooth. I reckon Newton would have lit up like a candle, but it helped. And you know, out of all this, Jack only returned to his place of birth once in 65 years, and I think I'm pretty right, Judy. Jack Donnelly hated the garden. You know how you stand up in front of people and you hear, oh, beautiful garden, oh, could grow anything. Jack hated the garden. Judy's plants, he got run over sometimes. Anything she planted had to be careful. And he sprayed a couple of Judy's plants with Roundup. He was a gardener, all right. This bloke could fix mowers. He was a fitter and turner. He was an engineer. But hated using them. So he'd leave the grass to get too long and then curse and swear when he had to cut it. We all know that he was a hard worker. Always. But it was mentioned by Jack at some stage, if I ever talk about buying a shop again, shoot me. He'd had enough. And Judy, one of the fellas here today, remembered you and Jack in the shop. So there you go. Hey? Yeah, there is. There is, I'm sure of it. Hard work never ever bothered Jack, ladies and gentlemen. And while he may not have relished the thought of another business, his work in the community continued for many, many years. Now, Abby, come on, please come up and share.
Just got a little poem. He never looked for praises, he was never one to boast. He just went on quietly working for those he loved the most. His dreams were seldom spoken, his wants were very few, and most of the time his worries would go unspoken too. He was there, a firm foundation through all the storms of life, a sturdy hand to hold in times of stress and strife. A true friend we could turn to when times were good and bad. One of the greatest blessings was the man we called our grandpa.
Well done. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please. Not so easy to stand up, is it? Not so easy. Now, we put together this tribute to Jack, his story, if you like. He was the youngest of 3 children born to Alice and Frank Donnelly on the 20th of February 1938 in Clydebank in Scotland. Jack was raised by his mum, his sister Mary and brother Frank after his dad passed away when Jack was only 7 months old. During the war years, the family lost everything in the Blitz of 1941. And we were evacuated to Croy in Scotland, where they lived until 1944. And just after the war ended, lots of children were sent to Switzerland while their families back home in Scotland re-established themselves. Jack was about 7 years old when he headed off to live with a Swedish family for 6 months. It's a fairly harsh start, isn't it, for a wee fella? Jack returned to Scotland and he finished school and gained an apprenticeship with the ships on the River Clyde as a marine engineer and a fitter and turner. In 1959, Jack migrated to Australia with his mum, his sister Mary and his brother-in-law Jimmy and 2 of their children, Alice and Jim. And to join his brother Frank, wife Celia and their family who had already migrated to Australia. Now, while on the ship coming to Australia, Jack turned 21. He said to Judith that he didn't want to get off the ship because he'd had such a great time celebrating his 21st birthday He wanted to do it all over again. When they arrived in Australia, the family lived in Warragul, and Jack got a job with the SEC in Morwell. This didn't last very long due to the shift workers sharing beds. I think they call them hot beds now, but one in, one out. Didn't suit Jack, and that was the early 60s. Jack then went over to Whyalla in South Australia working on the steelworks. Then he moved to Melbourne, and then over to Tassie working on the Tasman Bridge. Went back to Warragul and started working for Dent's Machinery. He worked for Dent's on and off for many years. In 1965, Jack married Judith Rose Thatcher, a farmer's daughter, and Jack and Judy farmed a dairy farm in Athlone, just out of Druin. Jack didn't know one end of a cow from another, but it didn't stop him. He soon learnt. Now, the Warragul district had a terrible drought around 1968, so Jack and Judy decided to get out of farming and moved into Warragul with Jack, taking on the assistant engineer's position at the milk factory. And by this time, Jack and Judy had 3 children that had come along, Newton, Linda and Cameron. And around 1978, Jack accepted a position as chief engineer at the Nestle factory. Now, I know some people say Nestle, but it's Nestle's factory. And moved the family to Maffra, living there for a couple of years, working long hours and being on call 24/7. The future of Nestle's was uncertain at the time, so Jack and Judy decided they'd work for themselves. It's a big step, I can tell you, and purchased the Bruthen one-stop shop, living in the residence behind the shop and running the business 7 days a week for 5.5 years. During this time, Jack and Judy purchased the Galleon Coffee Lounge in Lakes Entrance and ran the 2 businesses until the Bruthen shop sold. And they moved to Lakes Entrance, running the Galleon Coffee Lounge for 8.5 years and carrying on the tradition of making the best Cornish pasties. I asked for the recipe, but it was declined. As a child, Jack was a Boy Scout and loved playing soccer, which he passed on to his boys. Now, Jack had a dark patch on one of his knees and said it was a little bit of Scotland that he brought with him. In fact, it was soiled from a fall on a soccer field back in Scotland. Jack discovered the game of golf early in his adulthood and joined the golf club wherever they happened to be living at the time, Warragul and Maffra, and then Lakes Entrance Golf Club, holding a membership at Lakes for over 30 years. Now, he would have seen the comings and goings of all the people over that time. It is a long time. Jack would probably say, yeah, it's 30 years. While living in Bruthen, Jack became a member of the Lions Club, serving over 30 years again and becoming a life member of the Lakes Entrance Lions Club. Jack held many committee positions as one of the many organisers of the Good Friday fish tastings. Jack was president of the club in 2001 and met our Prime Minister, John Howard. There's a beautiful photo of Mr. Howard and Jack. Did you get a look in there, Jude? Yeah, Judy's there as well. You're not in that one. You didn't. During the 30th anniversary of Lions International, Jack was presented with several honours, and that's what we're seeing today, for his services to humanity as a Lions member. Some are here on display. Now, after Jack retired, he worked part-time at the Lakes Entrance Fishermen's Co-op and then became a delivery driver for the local pharmacy, delivering prescription medications to people who couldn't get to the pharmacy. He was known as the drug runner. During Jack's retirement, he played golf at least 3 days a week and also took up bowls the other 2 days just to fill in a bit of time. Jack and Judy bought a caravan and spent many years travelling Australia. Their favourite location was Yamba, always taking the golf clubs and the bowls along with them. And that caravan park that I caught up with Jack and Jude is no longer a caravan park. It's a permanent resident place. It's a beautiful little park. They went on several cruises to the islands, New Zealand, and travelled around Europe and the United Kingdom. This was the one and only time, as I said, that Jack returned to Scotland. But he always thought of himself as a Scotsman, but he adopted the Australian ways, and why wouldn't you? He loved family barbecues, he loved cold beer, he supported the Blues footy team, Carlton, and had many summer holidays by the beach at Inverloch, everything that probably Scotland hasn't got, really. I'm not denigrating Scotland. Jack was a quiet, private man. He couldn't stand over-talkers, the big noters. He often commented about people who liked to hear their own voices, and as I said earlier, he had a wicked, sarcastic sense of humour. Jack also had an intrigued mind. He liked to learn and understand how things worked, and when computers and internet arrived, Jack taught himself how to use them. And when his golf was bad, Jack spent more time on the computer. He loved to spend time with Judy and the kids and their families. Newton and Deborah and their daughters Taylor and Abby and Clancy and Linda and Stephen and their children, Chelsea, Stacey and Nathan, and Cameron and his children, Ella, Harrison and Liam. Jack and Judy were married for 59 years and 3 months, but were together for over 61 years when Jack passed away on Sunday the 15th of December at the age of 86 after a long illness with dementia. Jack is now at peace, and yes, he will be sadly missed. A couple of very, very smooth songs, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to watch a photo presentation of Jack's life. A little bit of old Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. And I mentioned Frank Sinatra earlier. Who are we talking about? The Rat Pack from the 50s. Thanks.
Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace. There's no telling where love may appear. Something in my heart keeps saying my someplace is here. If I had it in my power, I'd arrange for every girl to have your charm. Then every minute, every hour, every boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace. There's no telling where love may appear. Something in my heart keeps saying my someplace is here. If I had it in my power, I'd arrange for every girl to have your charm. Then every minute, every hour, every boy would find what I found in your arms. worth waiting for someone like you.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. That faraway prize, a world of success, is waiting for me if I heed the call. I won't settle down, won't settle for less, as long as there's a chance that I can have it all. I'll go it alone, that's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. I gotta be free. I've gotta be free. Daring to try to do it or die. I've gotta be me. I'll go it alone. That's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. I gotta be free. I just gotta be free. Daring to try to do it or die. I gotta be me.
What do you think? Beautiful memories, just beautiful memories. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our tribute to Jack is at an end. Please, if you're able to, stay here together. The catering crew, very hospitable caterers, and I know that Judy, and Linda and Newton and Cameron and all the family would love to have you stay and tell some more yarns, please. Now, memories from the family. I was smiling inside when I said about Jack and Judy being married. Well, Judy met Jack when she was 17 years old at a dance in Poowong. Jack asked if he could take her home. Judy turned him down because he'd been drinking. The next weekend they ran into each other at a dance in Warrigal, and Jack asked again. He had his eye on you, Judy. Can I take you home? And that famous line, the rest is history. Newton remembers memories of Dad coaching his Newton's junior soccer team at Warrigal United in Sale City, where they won the league and came fourth in the state. Jack was very proud of this and the boys' achievements. When Newton was about 5 years old, he went to the MCG to watch the footy with Jack, who barracked for Carlton, and his uncle Alec, who barracked for Collingwood. They were in Bay 13, which was standing room only. Yes. So for Newton to see the game, he had to sit on their shoulders or stand on the esky. Carlton beat Collingwood. And to top it off, one of Jack's favourite places, Jezza. Alex Jezelenko took a screamer. Dad loved the Blues that much he called one of their family dogs Barras. After Ron Barassi. Linda remembers weekends with Dad. When Judy worked at the Warrigal Hospital, Jack making ice cream and taking the kids to the Warrigal show. Linda says that Jack was also always genuinely interested in how the three kids were going. Wanting to know how school or work was, if they were happy with what they were doing. He would patiently listen and quietly let them come to their own conclusion, helping to steer them along the way if needed. One memorable caravanning holiday with the Harrisons where both cars had a two-way radio and the truckies would go crooked Jack and Uncle Jimmy for being on the wrong channel. Tartan 1 to Tartan 2, for heaven's sake. Just a long time ago. And Linda finishes off, from your favourite daughter. Think about it. And Cam remembers a song that Jack used to sing when putting him to bed as a young child. That was always stuck with him. He still has no idea of the meaning of it. Not last night, but the night before. 3 little monkeys came to the door. One with a trumpet, one with a drum, and one with a pancake stuck to its bum. It's a dad joke. It's a dad joke from 50 odd years ago. Chelsea, where are you, Chelsea? Where are you? You're up the back there. Chelsea's love for a cup of tea came from staying at Grandma and Grandpa's. We'd have a cup of tea with breakfast and lunch and dinner. And Chelsea also remembers going on a drug run with Grandpa in the chemist van. Stacey, where are you, Stacey? You're over here. Where are you? You're up the back there still? Oh, yes, yes. Grandpa often sang Stacey the song, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." See, I reckon sing. And Grandpa also taught Stacey how to tie her shoelaces with her dressing gown tie in preparation of getting shoes with laces. So you've got to be about 4 or 5. It's a long time ago. It is, it's a long time ago. Now, Chelsea, Stacey and Nathan, you've got to come up and read this little poem, please, for Grandpa.
When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room where I cry for a soul set free. Miss me a little, but not too long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go.
For this journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all a part of the Master's plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick of heart, go to the friends we know, and bury your sorrows in good deeds. Miss me, but let me go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Well done, you guys. Well done. It's time to say farewell to Jack. It's raining. We're in the place that he enjoyed so much. We're in the place with his family that he enjoyed being with. We would have Jack back with us if he was fit and well. But we let him go. We let him go with love in our hearts. We let him go into the unknown, where he will be waiting. That's our hope. But for me, the sadness of today, as I said earlier, is tempered by the blessing that he is no longer in pain. He is at peace. And for a fellow like Jack, that would be the greatest gift to him. You'd only need to close your eyes and watch him wandering along the fairway. He's around. You'd only need to close your eyes and open your ears and hear him giving orders at the fish tasting. Or helping Linda and Cameron and Newton, but all this lot down the front here. Say again, Cam.
He always provided for us.
He always provided for us, Cameron's saying. And I think that's just perfect. We wish Jack so much peace. We wish him comfort. And if you feel that you'd like to, please join with me in the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Judy and Linda said the other day that Dad, Jack, had the gift. Was it his final day or the last couple of days beforehand, of being able to say, I love you to each of his family. A wonderful, warm and loving last day. What a gift. And I noticed what you'd written, Judy. My mind is at ease and my soul is at rest. Mentions Frank Sinatra as one of the Rat Pack. We've got to play it, because that was Jack. Bit of Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes, My Way. Thank you all so much for being here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you're able to, stay here and share memories. Thank you.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my
highway. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my